something empty within. We say yeah, fists flying up in the air, like we're holding on to something that's invisible there. Cause we're living at the mercy of the pain and the fear. Until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear. Yeah. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control. Flying at the speed of light, thoughts were spinning in my head. So many things were left unsaid. It's hard to let you go. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Sitting in an empty room, trying to forget the past. This was never meant to last. I wish it wasn't so. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Starting again. Holding on to what I haven't got. Listen up at the end, just a voice like a lion rocking every revision. Listen to the tone to the light. Words I say, so when you can say yeah, this flying over the air, like we're holding on to something that's invisible there. All right, we're back. You guys, there's something miraculous going on. We had a market sold off for more than 7 minutes. We're still kind of in it. And but on the flip side, we also found a new rocket ship stock. Yesterday was MNTS. Hope you guys enjoyed that one from 1250. And I was trying to explain to you, when these pump and dump worthless piece of garbage stocks start to rip, and if they stay strong into the end of the day, that's when you get the afterburners. So what was a nice trade earlier from 1250 to 15, later that day became a new buy into the close. And look where it went. So where's my friend that still wants to know what I mean with the market's rigged? Here you've got a stock, a worthless piece of garbage, nothing stock, right? Does nothing, serves no purpose on earth. Whatever the news was is bullshit. The stock is completely worthless. It's got a 1 for 64 reverse split. Basically, the stock is negative $4. But that's the kind of stock that moves in this market, kind of like this ASTC today, right? But the thing is, even these stocks are rigged. You think it's random that it went from 1750 to exactly 20 bucks? Exactly 20 bucks to the print. And that's where the seller was. And then it pulled back to the 1750 and then held the price where it broke out from. It's all symmetrical, right? Price where it broke from, price where it comes back to. Holds it, rallies. Now you got the overnight session. And this was a $12 stock. And this morning,
It finally was a sell when it rolled over, and I haven't looked at it since, but still got a faux show bro long trade out of it. And then you've got ASTC, right? AST. So another nonsensical bullshit name, I'm sure. They do nothing, but you put the word Astro. Right, George. Is that Astro? Or is that Scooby? Scooby and Astro are kind of related in some way, right? And if you don't know what dogs I'm talking about, come on, people. Anyway, ASTS, right? Same exact scenario. Hey, what the hell is this? I don't know. I wish I was in it. Then it does that thing, which is called the faux show bro VWAP break. So no matter what stock you're trading, as long as it does the chart pattern that we know turns into winning trades, take it, right? So breaks the new low very briefly, comes right back, and then breaks VWAP. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, 680, and 680 got you 750. And then if you held the 750 looking for the 10, you had to sit through a halt, but you got the 10. And now this trade for me, this $10 spot, I'd be dumping whatever I had left if I was still in it. Not in it. And you don't want to close this gap because that's another dollar down. But if it closes this gap and then gets back into this candle, that'll be over for this stock, inevitably on its way back to zero. But right now you're still above the gap. You had a little rug pull. Next leg breaks down, you sell the rest. If you happen to still be in it. But miracles, my friend, miracles, right? We saw a market, we had a blow off top, engulfing bearish candle. What? I know. An engulfing blow off top, but let me explain what happened here and where are my new friends. When I say the market's rigged, it's not a debate. I prove it every day. It's pre-programmed to do the things that it's doing. And we find that we prove it by the fat finger Freddy trade that happens between 8 and 8:05, where the market slips and tells us where it's going to go. And we mark that off as a target, right? Now, do we just blindly short stocks because there's a fat finger trade? No. Still wait for confirmation. And what's that confirmation? Well, it started with a blow off top, engulfing bearish candle. If you've never seen one before, you might not ever see one ever again. Because if you haven't heard, the market doesn't like to go down. But it's going to go down every once in a while, and it's going to start with a blow off top, engulfing bearish candle, where you broke the high of the day and then in the same candle closed back below the prior low of that prior candle, engulfing that candle, bearish engulfing candle. And wouldn't you know it, it started a downtrend. I never thought I'd see one ever again, but there it is, right? And then it pulled back to VWAP. We were like, oh, that's probably all you're going to get. And then something dramatic happened. We broke VWAP, tested it from underneath, which is the market telling you, hey, you need to believe that we're about to head down to Fat Finger Freddy now, because now you got a reason to believe. Limited risk trade, because you're not letting it go back here now. Now you broke VWAP and tested it. You could short from the 734 area using the 735. So in this point right here was the best chance you're going to get to make money on a short, because you had at least limited risk of only $1. Right into the open, held through the open, which was a miracle because it never broke over VWAP. And then we got another massive reaction candle. Reaction candle broke down. Double bottom break. What the hell's going on? The market's actually going down. What is this? But it was because the market, which is controlled by the semiconductors, finally had a top. All works together. But Fat Finger Freddy, look where it went, to the exact same price. Market's rigged. Covered right there. Starts to bounce. We laughed. We cried. And then it rolled over. It got to the multi-day VWAP. Starts to bounce. I'm out. And then I did something insane. I actually shorted the Qs again right here because it started to roll. Went to 1727.50. Got paid. Put my stop at the orange line. I'm out now. And I got just 100 left because I had to give it another shot on this right there. I didn't go big this time, but head, shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, roll, took some profit again. And now I'm actually delusional enough to think, I know this might scare you. I can't even get the sentence out without kind of like choking up. I can't even say it. I was going to say it's like the Fonz trying to say sorry. What I'm trying to say is we might actually stay red on the Qs today. I know it's crazy. We might. There's more than I'm going to go 43% chance today. Usually the chances is negative or 2%. We've got a 43% chance right now that the QQQ could stay red for at least another hour, if not for the rest of the day. I know. Stop it, Kenny, right? That's crazy talk that the market could actually stay red for a day after rallying 38, 39, 43 straight days in a row. I know, right? Totally absurd. But you know what reminds me of how absurd that is this trade that I did earlier, ASTS short. Because I saw Lunar selling off. I saw SIDU selling off. I saw some other space stocks selling off. I saw the semis selling off. So I gave it a shot. When did I give it a shot? VWAP break, range break. Crazy enough, I held some into the open. Almost got my freaking head caved in. But I had to deal with the open. I know the open candle is usually vicious. And then we rolled over, got to the orange line, took the profit. And then down here, I'll tell you, my friend, there was no way in hell that I think this stock was about to bounce off 118.04. But it did. And I got stopped out. And then when it rolled over, I got short again. Same exact trade. Right here, I'm thinking, all right, this is definitely going to break the low of the day and then tank another 12 to 15 points. And then it ripped right in my dumb face. And when I say VWAP has saved my life, this is the trade. Normally, I'd be like getting my ass kicked on this move. No more of that. You want to rip up? I am never going to be faux show broed ever. So I went from counting my chickens and patting myself on the back for nailing this short again to getting out pretty much, I wound up getting out, up here because I had to let it breathe, and that was it. I gave it to the 121.76, and they got me. But look at it now. So to me, that's a winning trade. Obviously, I won on it twice. And then there was this. This is what started it all. And this is what I love about trading, mostly of all things I love about trading, is that the way we trade, right, is so specific. It's so niche. It's so 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. We know this trade works. I came in today thinking, here we go, Rambus. I've been on the wrong side of this trade. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. I came in today thinking, you know what? This is going to be the day. It's going to hold that gap. It's going to break 175, go to 180, and rip another 40 today. And then 5 minutes after I was thinking that, it breaks multi-day VWAP. And I'm thinking, let's short everything. And that's how trading happens. This stock rolling over the way it did, in that same breath where I was thinking, I can't wait to buy more Rambus, I'm on the other side of the trade. Didn't short the Rambus, but I shorted the SOXL and SOXS. We bought the SOXS. And that triggered this delusion that the market could actually stay down because the number one sector that's been carrying the whole bull market is the semis. But always keep in mind that shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. Right? ASTS. Two times today, if you had a gun to my head, where do you think ASTS is going? What do you think I would have said? I would have said 105. I nailed this thing twice. And twice I was forced to get out. That's why I say VWAP has saved my life. In my younger days, I'd be getting annihilated. adding to it up here like a schmuck. Oh, it's got to roll over again. Yeah, sure. Right. It's going to roll over again any day now. I don't trade what I think. I trade what is happening. And today the market gave us a rare chance to short the Qs, short the SOX. I shorted ASTS. I didn't short the SIDU. And what is really awesome about today is that it started way back for me at 6:30 in the morning. We were looking at PDD, which I'm still looking at as a possible buy now. Now it's consolidating above the fake out, shake out. There you go. You got the fake out, you got the shake out. And now you're consolidating, forming a new range. Holds this upper range, breaks VWAP. You're looking for a little move up to the upside. But here's the one that we did trade. It was the ZS. And once again, I hate the stock. I think it's going to zero. I hate the whole sector. When do I buy it? See that? What I did right there? I got no love for the stock, no love for the sector, despise the stock, despise the sector. But what do I trade for a living? I trade faux show bro VWAP breaks on earnings reports. And right there, that's a living. Right there. 139.85 to 141. Pulled back, gave me another chance. 140 to 142.5. And then right at the open, I don't like holding stocks into the open. This one, again, most of the time, you're going to be right when you get out of your position near the open. The only reason I held the Q short was it was a very small position and I was up on it already. But this one was already telling me that the long was over. And look how lovely. If I would have been even more savvier, I could have shorted this bad boy. But top ticking our way out of it twice. Sweet. And right now, I'm still short 100 QQQ, and I'm delusional to think that I might add to it. I know. Crazy talk. Sick, demented talk. But I can't add to the short right now because UVXY is still red. So I'm just thinking this is a fart in the wind, little 4-point pullback, insignificant, irrelevant, and probably will wind up going green and ripping up 12 to 15 points by the end of the day. I have to assume that because that's what keeps happening. Until it stops happening, I'll stop assuming the Qs will be at 750 by the end of the day, if not 800 by Friday. I joke, but I'm not joking. If you're a shorter in this market, you're basically doing something illegal. You should be looking over your shoulder as if someone's coming at you running with a bludgeoning tool. But VWAP won't let you do that. VWAP will be your shield, if you will. Now, it's 11:21 on May 27th. I want to give you a heads up. I'll be leaving early tomorrow. I'm going to a concert, and I probably won't be around Friday morning. So usually when I'm not around, we do get some extra volatility. Now, here's what the craziest thing I'm probably going to say of our lifetime. First of all, I've already said something nuts. The market might stay down today. I know. Fucking insane, right? Crazy. But now here comes the real crazy part. Let's say we do stay red today. And we'll get that probably rally into the close bullshit. If we gap up tomorrow and we roll over and break today's lows, we actually might have back-to-back red days on the QQQ. Shh. Shh, I know. I've actually seen it happen. I've seen the QQQ go down 2 days in a row. I think this might be that elusive butterfly. If we could stay down today, gap up tomorrow, roll over, break today's lows, there's a chance, a slim chance, an ice cube's chance in hell that we could actually sell off 2 days in a row. I know, crazy. Don't be afraid. But you're seeing an absolute exodus. You're seeing something that's rationally happening. you're seeing an actual blow off top follow through to the downside on the semis. And for now, they're staying down. And if anybody's shorting my favorite semi to short, there it goes, Wolf. This stock represents all that's right, yet all that is absolutely wrong with the market. This company has been indicted for fraud. They don't exist. They've done 300 reverse splits. They don't do anything. They serve no purpose on earth. And the stock's gone from 49 cents to $74. Once again, good luck being a shorter in a market that never goes down. But when stocks like this finally give it up, that's a sign, right? You take it under advisement. We'll see if we follow through. But tomorrow and Thursdays have been notoriously bearish in bull markets. Bearish-ish. You got to put 3 ishes on there because there's really no bearishness anymore. Let me repeat. I'm already planning for tomorrow. If we market stays down today, that's miracle number 1. You guys see Maverick? Miracle number 1. Miracle number 2 would be a gap up that sells off tomorrow, just like we had today. Miracle number 2. And then miracle number 3 will be we break today's lows tomorrow. That's when you get aggressive on the short. This is all just still nothing. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I'd like to invite everybody to a trip to Bangladesh, to the Faux Show Bro Cafe. If you didn't know, I trained this guy in Bangladesh so well that he opened up a cafe and named it Faux Show Bro in Bangkok. So we'll be going here for a class trip. The Faux Show Bro Cafe in Bang Na Noa. For all of your exotic tea needs. And I was going to say something very inappropriate, but I think you know where I'm going if you're talking about Bangkok. What? The Faux Show Bro Cafe. What do you know? By the way, that was just for like me Googling stuff. I just stumbled onto that. I've been Googling also music songs that have any sort of technical analysis term in the song, because I've been writing some like songs about the market. So I wanted to see if anybody had some songs. So I started Googling stuff. I found some really good music. One's called Pattern Recognition by Chalk Dinosaur. Very good stoner song if you guys smoke the weed. Chalk Dinosaur, Pattern Recognition, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And this one is pretty freaking awesome. Where is it? It's called Anchor Point, which it's amazing that these songs turned out to be pretty damn good tracks. This is Anchor Point. And I'm going to go freshen my coffee. We'll take some questions. And then I'm going to go screw off for the rest of the day and sit under the desk praying that the market crashes. This is Anchor Point. Anyway, what's up, y'all? How's everybody's day going? So that's it, man. What a day. What a morning, right? I love when I come in with a couple of plans and I do none of those because I'm just trading what I'm seeing. One trade I did like, which was the Sid U trade, right? And it just had these fat finger trades. And I was like, okay, what are we seeing here? And it just kept printing high and but going lower, printing higher and going lower. In this case, they were just trying to screw with me. And that's why VWAP is still the king. So even though I saw these, and they did it right here, I thought that one was the real one. And as it started to move up, I gave it a shot for a long trade, and then it just rolled back over, took a small loss. But this is one trade I was looking to buy because this was one of them dog shit, space stocks. Here's the 5-year chart coming out of that Andy Dufresne. If you guys remember this one. So this is a triple Andy Dufresne Kardashian bottom break. Gotta love that. But you didn't really have any follow through today. But this one's still on my radar. If it consolidates and breaks out again, you're looking at that $8. If it gets through the 8, this is Sid U, by the way. Yeah, look at that. This is a 10-year chart on it. Oh boy. Right? It's every one of those charts. Light path. Every single one looks exactly the same. But I tell you something, it is still virtually impossible to stay short if you're using like real price levels and proper risk management and discipline. Because there's a point where you have to get out because you don't want to be on the other side of the fake out, shake out, breakout. And one of these is going to turn into that. So we keep breaking new lows, but we keep getting squeezed. Prior day and multi-day are colliding over there, which is, again, that's your stops in that zone. So far, you're staying below it for now. That's why I can't count on it. Yeah, LPTH, they need to start creating better options on that for short term. That would be a much better stock to trade. But scroll back and take a look at some of the names from the morning. So PDD, right, just got rejected, but it's still in the upper range. And ZS. So I did 2 long trades in ZS earlier. So I might give this one a shot. But you see how it already broke back above a very specific area right now? The long traders have already started to sniff and get involved. But I am so back to being your classic day trader right now. make that money quick, and then call it a day. And right now, that's where I'm at. Just waiting to get stopped out of my last 100 Qs. It's inevitable. Yeah. Live batter. Concentrate. Let's talk about that. RDW. Yeah. Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, RDW. That's what kind of got me in the shortened mood this morning. Lunar. Yeah, that was the other one I couldn't think of. But look how perfect that scenario was, right? You actually got the short and then a faux show at the prior day VWAP into the long trade, and then it gave it no. Again, most of these stocks, the easy shorts, quote unquote, easy shorts are over. We're already back in the chop. Now, again, I'm going to talk with this hint of delusion that we're actually going to stay down today. And let me show you why. UVXY is trying to stay relevant. So if it can get something going again and go green and stay green, there'd be a 52% chance we actually stay red today. By the way, we got blow off tops really just across the board on, I would say, 75% of stocks that I watch. The XE, right? The XE, the L, the XE, the TE, ATOM, LITE, even though I fought back. Obviously, Rambus. Yeah, any stock that you could think of. Yeah, we're talking about Groupon for the last couple of days. I haven't traded it, but that's right up there with the Blackberries. Your Xerox, which I don't know if you guys were paying attention to. Xerox stock was $2, went to 350. Pitney Bowes was another one in that category. And we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, but yeah, Groupon was perfect. But if we enter the ninth circle of hell, that's when we start talking about Beyond Meat. I mean, we were just trying to find the dumbest things that we could possibly. We're at that point, right? What's the dumbest thing that you could think of that should rally any day now? That's kind of where we're at, which is usually the top of a market. And again, I say top with a smile on my face. There is no top. They're all temporary tops. There's no doubt we're going up another 300 from here in very short time. QQQ inevitably is going to $1,000 before you know it. All right. And back to the squeeze at hand, right? There you go. I took it off the screen for 2 seconds. And next thing you know, this was the one to stay concentrating on, right? You see how it's just not dying? And that is your new space stock for today. And the yesterday was MNTS, which, kind of over for now. We'll see what happens back at 15. But the money comes out of that and it finds itself in here. So 11:44 on May 27th, I'm still delusional enough to think we are staying red today on the Qs. I know. Crazy. We're in a downtrend. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Back below 1 minute and the multi-day. And it's 11:44. And the sun's out and the air is still air. ZS is a buy already if you're scalping off the lows, right? So the idea is that you got your fake out, shake out. Now you got a fake out, shake out right at that same price. So 126.35, 126.75, 126.75 got you 127.50, right? So with this trade, because it's still in a nasty downtrend, it's just a scalp long. I would be a seller already if I was in it at 127.50 and just using those last two pullbacks, the 126.35 and the 125.66 as my out. And if it doesn't get back over that 128, yeah, probably just going to be sitting around. And here's the funny, there. That's funny right there, Lunar, right? This was the first stock that I was shorting, right? And what's happened since? By the way, this stock represents that another one. That's all that's right and wrong with this market. Company doesn't even exist. It's garbage. They supposedly have a rocket or a space thing, and they went to the moon. It was supposed to collect data, help NASA with these contracts, blah blah blah. The spaceship crashes, it disappears, falls into a crater. They launched another one. They lost contact with it. They don't know what happened. Great company. Fantastic, right? Great company. I don't know whether that was even real that we were watching. Who knows? Could have been all AI. But since the stock crashed, literally since the spaceships crashed, the stock went from $6 to $46 because nobody cares. You put the word space in something, lunar, the symbol, come on. So yesterday they had some news that they lost the contracts that they never had in the first place, because if you believe this is a real company, you're delusional. So they said they lost the contracts, but blah, 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 stock gets hammered. And then you realize, wait a second, why would the stock sell off on news when all the news is bullshit? This is a bullshit company. And then it rallies right back to where it came from. 10 points in your face. Good luck being a shorter in a market that doesn't care about anything, right? But then this morning, look, reality set in and a rational trade developed where it broke VWAP, tested it from underneath, and got to the prior day VWAP. And then even that moment, there's no reason to think the stock's coming back, and it does anyway. So my word of caution is if you're shorting, make sure you understand that you're doing something illegal. It's always going to be a short-lived trade. Try to do as best as you can, and that's what stops it for. And right now, I'm still short the Qs because it hasn't got my last lot, right? I'm still waiting to see if it can break the 2-day. VWAP's my out. Still hasn't got me. And it is what it is. Down to the last lot, just waiting to see if we get paid a little bit more. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow because these levels that we battled around today will be important tomorrow. Gap tomorrow, roll over. So the scenario is would be called residual sellers, right? So there are people taking some profit today, finally. You got some shorters who are making money, finally. So now tomorrow, no one's expecting the market to actually go down 2 days in a row. It's impossible, right? But if it starts to develop, anybody that was thinking about selling, they'll start selling tomorrow. And then you'll get a bigger move to the downside because people will then be convinced that today was something more important than you thought it was. And right now, if I didn't mention, this is a blow-off top engulfing bearish candle. Look at it. Look at it. You might not see one for the rest of your life. There it is. Bearish, blow-off top, bearish engulfing candle. and it actually started a downtrend. So on May 27th, 2026, for this brief moment that we're sharing together, rational trading has somehow come back to the market. Sure, it won't last, but this is still the same short from way back then when it finally gave us permission to be a shorter today. And then it confirmed after I got stopped out, it confirmed that, hey, maybe I could give this another chance. And I did. And again, I wish I would have went huge, but I didn't. But tomorrow, I'm going to get fucking crazy. Because if the scenario that I just talked about plays out tomorrow, that's when you get aggressive. Not today. Today's still a proving ground that the market could even stay down. And then you go back to ASTC where nothing matters. Woo! Come on. Meanwhile, in another dimension, 10 gets you 1250, 1250 gets you 15, 15 gets you 1750. Almost. Do. So now, if this thing breaks 1750, and by the way, I haven't even had to look. I'm assuming this is a pump and dump, one of these illiquid bullshit names, right? Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Wow. Of course it is. Because it's always the same nonsense. Oh, wow. This is actually coming into a real important spot, as a matter of fact. Can break through there. You're looking to the top of that range. That's $23. So, congrats if you're still long, you crazy sons of bitches. Hey, we're not schmoozing anymore, but I got somebody I want to bring to your guys' attention next week. So we might have a guest. We might start just having guests in the middle of the day. He's got some volume scanner. You know, I'll always give a volume scanner guy a shot. It is a, let me describe it. Well, you know what? I'll let them describe it. I'll probably have them on next week. So I'll let you know, but we might have a guest on tomorrow, next week, maybe like 1 o'clock or so. Wait, hang on. There's a 1750. There's a big bidder out there. I can't trust this move. You see that big bidder? Usually a seller. What happened to that guy? But you just got the 1750. Congrats. But they just flashed big size. You see that was a seller? See that? See what the sell program just hit? They show the big size on the bid. That's the tip-off. There you go. Now you probably get halted to the downside, but at least you got 1750 out of it. You want to see him flashing massive size on the offer while it's going up to try to pretend that it's not going to go up. They start putting bids on. They usually is a seller. And again, it's hanging in there right now. If you're still in this, 15's your most important zone. All right. if you used 15 as your out, you're still in. Now you got to think 20, right? So you just got to that last area. So now you're in this zone, right? Now that you're in this zone, you generally rip to the tops of the zones, which is 23 points. That's $23. You break 23, you go to the bottom of the last area, which is $27. And the way this is moving, you got to start thinking it is going to go to $27. But now, if you're happen to be still in this, and a couple of you guys are, now you just raise your stop. I would keep it at 1750 and 15, especially if you're in from lower than there and you've already taken profit. But if you get into the 20s, that's when you start thinking that the stock could go to $50. Don't get, greedy and crazy. But if you're still in it, it's 1750 and 15. And if it hits the 20, you sell a little bit. Let's see what I do after that rug pull. You see how the rug pulls are just that? They're just rug pulling it, but they're not following through. They're trying hard, just like MNTS. They were trying so hard to get us out. That's what makes me more bullish. Eventually, there's going to be a rug pull that does give it all back, but not with you still in it, because 1750 and 15 are going to be where you sell it. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen just there, but that's what happens close to the 20. You'll pull back to 1750. I mean, that's the perils of trading these things. But I don't know if anybody's still in it. But Jamie, I'm sure he's in from like $8. So all right, let me go take a look at some other things before I go. PDD, just hanging in there. Bottom of the range was held. Just cannot get anything going above VWAP. But the longs are in already from here. They're just waiting to either get stopped out here and there or break VWAP and rally back to the 87.50. So if you're in it long, this is your moment of truth. It needs to finally get over, hold it, and then it can begin an uptrend from there. And for my next trick, I'm going to reiterate and repeat what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm already on to tomorrow. Today's lows, whatever they are, very important. If we sell off into the close, that'll be a very, very distinct difference from the last 58 days in a row. We've sold off once into the close over the last 58 days. If that happens, that's real selling. So then if they sell it off into the close, yet gap it up tomorrow, it's usually a sucker gap. That sucker gap gets sold into, and then everybody who didn't sell today will run for the exits tomorrow. The algorithms kick in, and we can get a whole nother 5 points on the downside on the Qs. Oh my God. But it'll be 5 points that'll be made. And then we'll throw in some of these other trades, and I'm sure there'll be plenty to do. But like I said, I'm already looking to tomorrow. QTTB. Let's go take a look. Hold on a second. I know that stock. Yeah, that was kind of like the other one we were buying, Quantum Pharmaceuticals. And I remember the one time the guy said, "It's not even Quantum." I know. It doesn't matter. This guy's buying the stock. He thinks it's Quantum. I'm like, no, I know exactly what it is. It's a stock that says the word Quantum in the name, and that's all you need. And the stock went from $4 to 40. Anyway, QTTB. Yes, I know this one. And you just had a attempt to sell off, and all it did was double bottom. So you got two things to look at. You got like a quadruple bottom right there, VWAP run underneath. This thing rolls, that's an easy short because you got like a quad bottom VWAP break with multi-day right there. So if that's the blow off top, and by the way, $13 to the penny, right? Indication of the market being rigged. Pump and dump, worthless, weird biotech stock just coincidentally stops at 13, exactly on the nose. It's programmed. And now you want to see what the next program is. If then, right? So if this stock breaks here, breaks the VWAP, comes back tested from underneath, then you start looking for it to retrace back to where it came from, which would be this level. And then if it gets into that candle, you're looking for it to give back all the way to 960. And that's my time. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. His name is Solid Jello. And if you're driving, don't drink. If you're drinking, don't drive. All right? This and much, much more. Same bat channel, same bat time. Have a great rest of your day. And I will be looking at this QTTB as a short now because it does look interesting. Let's see if we can short it. I'm assuming it's not even shortable. QTTB. Oh, it is shortable. Hello. All right. All right. Be careful out there, especially if you're delusional thinking that this market's actually going to stay red today. We're still at 40. I'm lowering it down to 38% chance we actually stay red on the Qs. So be careful out there, y'all. I'll be back later.